think I found the secret to happiness, and it's not chocolate. The best year of my life is the year I spent thousands of kilometers away from my family and friends. When I was 18, I moved from France to California to live there for a year. I was an intern in a school, and I spent around 80% of my free time by myself. And I think that it's what made this year so special to me. I would go to the beach, I would go to restaurants, I would go to the movies, and I even went to Disneyland more than once by myself. I know that for many people, being alone is often associated with the feeling of loneliness. And those two things are very different. You are the master of your life, and you have the power to erase this feeling of loneliness, to replace it with a feeling of comfort and freedom when you're by yourself. Easier said than done, I know, and that's why I'm not letting you leave this video without a few advice. If you're intimidated by spending time alone by yourself, because you consider yourself to be more of an outgoing and social person, start by going to crowded places. Go to a bar, go to a restaurant, go to a concert. You can even go to the movies by yourself. Go to places where you can surround yourself by people and by noise if you feel more comfortable. The goal here is to check if you're more comfortable spending time with yourself surrounded by people than spending time by yourself alone at home painting, for instance. Choose an activity that you love. If you love photography, why not go to the nearest park and find inspiration there? If you love cinema but none of your friends are available to go see the next Dune movie, all good, just go by yourself, it's just more popcorn for you. Spending time alone is not about staying at home and scrolling through TikTok for hours. It's about learning to appreciate the little things and enjoying them while being alone. If you don't know what to do, but you feel like you need to spend some time by yourself, that's okay, just go with the flow and see where your instincts takes you. If you want your time alone to be a time of reflection, don't forget to grab a pen and a journal or even paint. Sometimes we can find ourselves so busy that it's very difficult to think straight anymore, and that's why being able to write things down and write your feelings down is a great way to put order back into your thoughts. However, being alone is not always about questioning your life and big philosophical thoughts. Sometimes it's just about enjoying the little things. Focus on what makes you feel good and focus on the moment, because it's what it's all about. Take as much time as you need. Sometimes you might feel like you need a whole day to yourself, and one day you're just gonna wake up and feel like, oh, okay, I feel like this morning I need to spend 30 minutes in my universe before I go out to the world. There are no time limits, and it's actually about what you feel in the moment. You won't always have the same needs, and they will change depending on your schedule and your mood, and that's totally fine. I see a lot of content on YouTube and social media in general about romanticizing your life, and even though I love this, I don't think that you need to romanticize every aspect of your life in order to enjoy them. Living in the moment without thinking about it is just enough, and it's about enjoying the little things. Like I said earlier, there are actually no rules. You do you. It's whatever works for you. After all, this time is all about you. When I came back from Los Angeles to France to study psychology, I realized that it had become very important to me to be able to spend time by myself. So I decided to make it a priority to listen to my needs and allow myself to have some moments by myself. Sometimes it would be an afternoon, sometimes it would be 30 minutes, and sometimes I would go on a weekend by myself. I had just spent a year thousands of kilometers away from where I grew up, and so I had to learn how to appreciate my own company, and it had become very important to me. It was not always about reflecting on my life. Sometimes I just needed to be in my quiet zone, you know. For my 25th birthday, I actually flew back to California by myself. I took a 2-week vacation and I reconnected with some old friends, but I spent most of my trip alone. And for the first time in years, I found it hard to enjoy every single moment I spent by myself. That's when I realized that my needs had changed and that I didn't need to spend as much time by myself as I used to. Your needs will probably change too, and that's okay. You probably hate being by yourself right now, and in a couple of years, after you put some work into spending more time by yourself, you will realize that you need at least once a week to spend 30 minutes just writing your thoughts down and taking yourself to the movies or taking yourself to the restaurant. Do what makes you feel good and what makes you happy, and maybe you'll learn things about yourself. What I would love to know is, if you already love to spend time by yourself, what do you like to do? And if you don't already like to spend time by yourself, what do you think you would like to do? I, for instance, after filming this video, I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea and go do some journaling. I hope that my guide to learning how to spend more time by yourself helped you, and I can't wait to hear if it allowed you to step out of your comfort zone and spend more time by yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.